Hey guys, I'm Janasia and welcome to my channel, or if you're not new here, welcome back. So for this video, I'm gonna get into how things were for me the first couple months of being a new nurse. And just for reference, I am a nurse in Florida. So I decided to make this video because I get a lot of questions about being a new grad nurse, and also while I was in school, I used to search on YouTube for nursing videos about anything, like how much they get paid, what their life is like, anything. So I thought it'd be cool to make a video from my own experience, my own journey. So let's just get right into the video. So when you are looking for your first job as a new grad nurse, I highly recommend working at a location that offers a residency program. Most of them should, but I have seen a few that don't. But I highly recommend going into one that does have a residency program. In my residency program, it lasted for about 3 to 4 months. So in the beginning of my residency program, no matter what floor or specialty you worked on, all the nurses would be together. And we would come to the hospital probably for like 8 to 5, I would say. And during that time, we would listen to multiple speakers. We would get to practice like IVs, chest tubes, you know, any skills like that before we were actually sent to with our preceptor to do our training. So after the little refresher of nursing school, then you would get a schedule, and it would have obviously the days you work, and it would have your preceptor. The preceptor is supposed to show you basically how things are done on that floor. They're there to answer any of your questions, comments, show you how to do skills, show you how to do anything that is specialized to that floor for those specific patients. During my experience, I had one preceptor for a few weeks, and then they would switch up preceptors for the next few weeks, and then again and again. Now they did this so I could get a perspective or a different view on how other nurses do things and figure out how I would want to do things moving forward when I'm on my own. Since I was hired for night shift, I did my first couple of weeks of training on day shift, just to get like the hang of things, because day shift is more hectic than night shift. And then for the last half of my residency, I was moved to night shift so that I can see how night shift operates. So when I got hired on an oncology/GI surgery floor. So we can see patients that are med-surg or patients that are PCU status. So I did have to go through a little bit of extra training to get that PCU status, because PCU patients are sicker than your normal patients. So they need a little bit of extra care, and you have to know what to do for them. So let's get into the tea. I know you guys are dying to know like how much money new grad nurses make. And I just want to say that nurses in different states get paid differently, and the type of specialty you work for gets paid differently. Another thing that affects your pay is going to be the type of degree that you have. So if you have an associate's or a bachelor's degree. Base pay for the nurse residency program was $28 and something cents. But for the heck of it, we'll just say the base pay is $28. Now, I feel like this was a really good base pay, because during the time of interviewing and trying to find a job, I did have a group chat with people that I went to school with, and everyone was kind of, you know, putting how much their base pay was going to be, their beginning pay, whatever the case was. And a lot of people were getting paid less than that. The pay range that I saw was kind of in between $23 and $25, $26 an hour starting out, and they didn't get a pay raise after that. So that was going to be like the pay that they were going to be making continuously after they were done with the residency program. In my residency program, you had your base pay while you were in a residency, and then after you were on your own, like taking your own patient load, you know, on your own, you got a pay raise. So like I said, I was making $28 an hour starting out, and that was me working at one of the higher paying hospitals. Starting out, no matter what floor or specialty you worked on, all the new nurses got paid the same base pay. Then once you were on your floor and on your own, then you got the pay increase. Now, our residency program schedule was the same as our regular nursing schedule. You just worked whatever days your preceptor worked. So if you don't know, a full-time nurse in a hospital usually is required to work 3 days. And each of those 3 days is a 12-hour shift. Whether it's from 7 in the morning to 7 at night or 7 at night to 7 in the morning. You're doing 12 long hours. So my first paycheck as a nurse after taxes and everything was taken out was $1,811.77. And honestly, when I got my first nursing paycheck, I thought it should be more. Like, after realizing how much work nurses really put in and the strain it takes on your mental health, physical health, just everything, I definitely think that nurses should be paid more than what they are paid. But, you know, that's another topic for another day. I was still very excited about my first nursing paycheck because, you know, you're just starting out in your new career, you're excited, you want to see what your pay is going to be looking like and things of this sort. So I was a tiny bit disappointed, but I knew that I was going to be getting the pay raise after those initial couple months, so I wasn't really too worried about it. I was still pleased with, you know, what I was getting paid. So after those first initial months, I started being on my own around February. So then that's when I started getting paid the pay raise. Let me just double check. I went from making $28 and some change to $32 and some change. That was the base pay. So the base pay is $32 and some change, but then there's also a weekend differential, which was $1.50, and then the nighttime differential, which is $5. So I was making like $37 or so an hour. That was just with my base pay and the night shift differential. Now it would be a little different if I was working weekends or things like that, so I've got to take that into consideration. Also, if I were to pick up a shift, you know, you get paid overtime and then you would get paid a bonus as well. So all those things come into play when figuring out like how much I'm gonna get paid for those 2 weeks. At the hospital that I work for, you do get pay raises periodically. So I did get a pay raise since being on my own. I'm not gonna say what the pay rate is just because I don't want to say how much I'm getting paid right now, like at this very moment. I also forgot to mention that if you have your bachelor's degree, I think you get paid like $1 more. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Because I've spoken with people that I work with, although you're not supposed to discuss your pay, but the girlies are gonna discuss, okay? So, like I said, I was discussing with some of the girls at my job, and some of them do have their bachelor's degree and they get paid like $1 more. So overall, with my experience so far, I would say that I do enjoy nursing, but like I've mentioned, it just can be very exhausting and very just straining on your mental health, physical health, personal life, all that the above. So you really have to try and find a balance. If you're getting into nursing just for the money and you don't actually care for the patients or love what you're doing, you're just not gonna like it. It's not gonna be for you, and then you wasted your time and your money. Nursing is one of the harder professions, and within great reason to be so. With that being said, although becoming a nurse is very hard, it is doable. So don't give up, keep pushing yourself, you will make it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for future content.